All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to another session of our empowering morning conversations. And those who have been with us for a while, you all know what the purpose is, but I'm still going to invite Neeti to welcome you today and tell you a little bit more about what this is all about. And then I shall continue after that. Over to you, Neeti. You'll have to unmute yourself first.
Good morning, everybody. We are here for another wonderful session of Empowering Morning Conversations. This is our 86th session, and it just feels like yesterday that we started this exercise. When we started this, I thought I would be here for 2-3 days and slip away, and now I cannot miss it for a single day. I'm not ready to listen to the recordings. I want the actual session whole and complete. The purpose we get together is we share a lot of our own insights. We get a lot of inputs. We get a lot of guidance from Sir. And we learn how to manage ourselves and our lives much better with a lot of positivity. It helps us find our new answers and possibilities to overcome challenges. I won't like to use the word problems, but we all have experiences. Some of them are more challenging than the others. And these sessions help us overcome those challenges very well. Yesterday, we talked about generosity, spirit of generosity, and Sir left all of us to think about how the term plays in our lives and what comes to us. I would like to begin with sharing a small but a very important successful incident that happened with me yesterday. Sir knows my father has a lot of medical conditions, especially in his spine area. I've been beaming a lot of energy to him of late. And yesterday he wanted to go out, so we took him out to the club. And there was a thunderstorm, tremendous amount of lightning, downpour. We were left with 3 feet of waterlogging. My father walks on a walker because he finds using a walking stick very difficult because of his balance. But to my utter surprise and great happiness, what I saw was the energies and the entire experience was so supportive of my act of taking him out and his being there in the open. He walked through waterlogging, he walked through gravel areas on a walking stick without stumbling, without halting, without any difficulty. And we went through the entire afternoon of 3 to 4 hours with full ease. And this would not be possible if the energies around would not support him. Here at home on a plain marble floor, he finds it very difficult to keep his balance with the walking stick. But there, even on gravel floor, he walked with full ease. So that was my not little, but a very big success story from yesterday. Now I invite you all to share your little success stories from yesterday. Who would like to go first?
Before sharing, you can say what is the purpose. All of life comes.
Okay. The main mantra or the motto that we follow over here is all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. And I totally believe in it. And I practice this regularly. And I can see the joy of life coming with a lot of ease. Yesterday's incident is a pure example of that. The ease I saw in somebody who finds walking mobility such an issue, walk through so much of challenges with such ease. It was amazing. I was very thankful to the energies and I was thankful to the Supreme. So now I would like all of you to come out and share your success stories also. Who would like to go first? Should we begin with the ritual of the Shairi from Kuldeep sir?
Let Reddy Garu share. I think he wants to share
Okay.
now.
Okay. All right.
No, first of all, I just want to congratulate Niti uh, because see, we believe what we see in life. That's what I
Uh-huh.
strongly feel. So it is a good example for all of us why we are here. That's what I just want to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to, while you're on the call, would you like to share something from your side, your experience?
Maybe not now.
Okay, so let's have Anandita share.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And ma'am, thank you for that lovely share. Um, People do have the capacity to surprise us at most unexpected times. For me, mine is not so much of rather a success story, but more of an introspection. That when Sir spoke about generosity of spirit, I was so my background is that I work in a hospital. I am qualified as an intensivist. I work in the critical care unit, and the work in the hospital up until now has been about helping people, contributing to their lives, and also to do with my financial security, my status in society as a doctor. The perks of having a job I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and now I'm in a space of transition where I'm going from I'm aware that something more than a corporate hospital job is available for me, but what that more is not fitting into my definition um, or my image of myself, and probably it will not be a very comfortable choice to make as far as finances are also going to be concerned. So the whole day yesterday, the conversation in my head was that, if I could come from the space of being generous with myself, the gifts that I have, not just by the virtue of my profession and my qualification, but as a person. If I was being generous enough to share that with the world, and so Deepak uncle knows about it, that I mean, he's also told me that, Anandita, you wall yourself up. So he was the person to actually point it out to me in one of our conversations. And I was also looking at it that how much I was keeping everything to myself rather than being generous with it and seeing what the universe has to give me for all of it. So that was more of like the conversation in my head changed with the conversation we had in the morning. Not comfortable, but yeah, it's a change.
All right, good, congratulations.
I'd like to add over here, during these challenging times, I think being a doctor and being on this call regularly since the day you joined, I've been really admiring your determination, and it's great to have you here. And I know what you're saying because, one of these conversations begins the change and then it's a new road forever.
Yes. Yes.
All the
I'm
best for your
realizing that.
journey. All the best
Thank
for
you.
your journey.
Thank you.
Punenji. Boliye.
Yeah, very good morning, one and all, and thank you, Niti ma'am. Well, for me, two very obvious transformation, which I would like to share with you all with complete proud that what has happened with me. And the one was I had a very typical mental model, or in other words, my perspective of my world. And when I had a conversation with Sukhdeepak sir and various follow-up sessions, understanding of the reality, my perspective about the self and world has changed. And before, I used to be in default mode of worries, like what will happen. And I always used to think that I have to plan the things and I'll get the results as per the planning. But now I have a different perspective, different uh, mental model. Now I believe that, yes, the life is all about keep on moving, enjoying every moment, and you will get yourself unfolded. So that's the very obvious change in my mental model, my perspective towards the world. And second, very obvious change what I have observed within self is, since I was in the worries default mode, I was always concerned about unknown, uncertainties, and I used to keep myself uh, uh, asking that what will, if you do something it might go wrong, kind of things. But the perspective got changed, and when sir explained that uncertainty doesn't mean always something against your wish, something bad, something which you
We
might
lost
not
you.
like.
We lost what you said after uncertainty doesn't mean. We couldn't hear anything after that. Can
Yeah,
you repeat it?
right, sir. So I had an impression that if I am thinking that there are certain things are uh, unknown, you are not certain about certain things, and always being in the worries mode is uncertain about the future, then I used to think that something will always happen wrong, something will might go bad, something will not be which you want to have it. But my perspective got changed, and I had now self-belief that uncertainties can be also good. And I completely believe now that all unknown, all uncertainties, whatsoever going to happen in my life would be always good. So that's the shift from worries to complete faith on self, and the energy around me, on my curator, that everything would happen good. And third thing, I'll just quickly add on that since I was in the worry mode, I was not present in the present. So either I was in the past because of my bad memories of something, or in the future of my imagination. But now I can proudly say that I am, most of the time, I am in the present, enjoying the presence, and feeling completely grateful of the moment, and trying to observe that this moment, what exactly giving me to make me even better person so that I can contribute to the humanity. So that's the shift I have seen within me, and I'm, as I always say, that I'm still a student of life, focus to learn and focus to become even the better version of myself. So, and I would like to salute Sukhdeepak sir and heartfelt gratitude for putting these kind of seeds in my thoughts so that I have started thinking in that direction. So thank you so much, sir. May God bless you all. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gunenji. It is so inspiring when I see somebody talk about the level of belief that they have in the supreme and the good in life. It is so thrilling. And once you have this in you, you will never deviate from it, and nothing will ever go wrong. Like I said, bigger or smaller challenges will come and go, but then nothing will go wrong. Nothing will fall apart. Everything will stay together and move, and you will move ahead in life. That is so nice, so inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who would like to share next? I think we can have one more share before Sir takes over.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I want to share it.
Hanji, boliye sir.
And before I say, I am congratulating Niti ji for the thing which she has described. And these are the actual treasure moments. And the happiness you get on these type of moments, you will not, that is unparalleled.
Ji.
I was pondering the same thing which Dr. Kunan has said, that we feel sometime uncertainties and fear. I was pondering why at all we fear this. And an insight came to me that this is because of some sort of failure, element of failure which lingers in our mind. So same thing, some one insight which I will describe you in 4 lines of poem which I have written. When we try to venture something new, we feel that thing. तो उसके ऊपर है, कि कुछ नया करने में संकोच मत करना, कुछ नया करने में संकोच मत करना। ये मत सोचो कि हार होगी, ये मत सोचो कि हार होगी, क्योंकि हार तो कभी होती ही नहीं, हार तो कभी होती ही नहीं। या तो जीत मिलेगी या सीख।
Yeah.
Defeat is non-existent. That is why I got some insights I shall share with you.
You wish to
Wonderful.
translate it also, Chaturvedi ji?
The saying that when you venture something new, please do not think that I will meet a failure, because failure is non-existent. There can be only two things: either it's a victory or it's a lesson, and both are good for us.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And that brings me back to my point, which is thank you, Neeti. Thank you so much for doing it. I think we
Thank
should
you,
ask you
sir.
to do this more often. Thank you
So
very much.
1 second, sir, before
Yeah.
we have on the call today Mr. Joydeep Ghosh, who's joined us for the first time. He's an old
Yeah, I saw
friend
him.
and an ex-colleague. And yesterday, when I was having this experience in the rain, he was also there with me. So I welcome Mr. Joydeep Ghosh, and I hope he enjoys these sessions as much as we do. Over to you, sir.
Great.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And a very warm welcome to you, Joydeep. And thank you, Neeti, for inviting him. And
Thank you, sir.
let's make this a wonderful experience. Now, when you listen to this share of Kuldeep ji, I think you can remember what I keep saying, that every experience is an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. And this experience is one of those experiences that you come and participate in every morning. Okay, so welcome once again. And just to tell you that whatever we are doing here, the purpose is to go beyond the negativity which bombards us 24/7. Negative, 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 negative. You want to get sucked into it, and it will affect you mentally and physically. A lot of people become skeptical, they become resigned, they lose their enthusiasm, they lose their passion for living, they lose their zest. And we are not like that. We come here every morning to recover ourselves, to remain positive, and take this positivity with us and spread it out into the world. Because when we spread it, these are like ripples. You throw a drop, like a stone in the water, the ripples go out. And this world, which is an energy world, so when energetically we are positive, the energy positive vibrations go out and everybody around us becomes positive. And when that happens, you will certainly have a life of ease, joy, and glory. And this is our access consciousness magic mantra, which says all of life. Not only what I like, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And with your participation in these conversations, and please remember, these are conversations and not lectures. And we participate in these conversations. We contribute, each and every one of you does, with your words, with your questions, with the energy that you bring. And that makes this a wonderful forum for all of us. And I believe that when we spread these positive vibrations in the world will certainly be a place where I love to live. I don't have to look for some other dunya, जहाँ गम भी ना हो, आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले. वो यहाँ है. The dunya is here. And we'll create that world around us. So we don't have to go somewhere else to be happy. We can do it right here, right now. And that's the purpose. So it was very nice to hear so many people sharing. And obviously, if more people would like to share what happened to you out of your participation in yesterday. So as I keep telling you again and again, we will fall into the default mode. What is the default mode? The default mode is when we are reacting. You know how we react automatically without thinking. Various emotions come up. When you are reacting, you are certainly not in control. Something else is. So tell me one thing. We are all trying to accomplish something in this world, isn't it? We have some target, right? So even I want to be happy is the target. I want to be respected is the target. I want to make more money is the target. I want to grow my business is a target. And the simple formula is if you take the right actions, you will always produce the result that you want. So life is simple, no? What are the right actions that I should take that will take me to the result? So the first challenge is to find out what are the right actions. Because there are so many confusing things being bombarded at us all the time, it becomes difficult to decide sometimes what is the right action. Correct? Once you find the right action, it is difficult to do the right action. You might have noticed you will do some action out of your reaction, and then you'll say, oh, I should have not done this. We always know I should have not done it. We know it after we have done it. Isn't it funny? After we do it, we know that we shouldn't have done it. Oh, I should have not scolded him. Oh, I got angry unnecessarily. Oh, what is there to be so sad about it? But you got sad already. That's all a part of the reaction that's going on. And the second thing that we do is resisting and resisting. How do you know you're resisting? You know, this background picture that I put, what is written over there? Stop blaming and start living. So when you're blaming and complaining and saying ये क्यों हो रहा है, वो क्यों हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए, what do you think you're doing? You're resisting. तो जीवन में हम करते क्या है? प्रतिक्रिया यानी कि रिएक्शन और प्रतिरोध यानी कि resistance. And both of them, are they allowing you to live your life fully? Because living your life fully means being able to experience every experience that comes your way, because life is only a set of experiences. No? What else is life? Yeah? One experience followed by another experience, followed by another experience. But we are, I think sometimes we think we are bigger than God, you know. So we say, God, why have you given me bad experience? मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मुझे तो सिर्फ अच्छा experience चाहिए. बट भगवान बोलता है भैया एक्सपीरियंस है, जीवन तो एक अनुभव ही तो है, तुम्हें सिर्फ अच्छे अनुभव चाहिए, तो आधा जीवन तो वैसे ही खत्म हो गया आपका. Are you getting it? If you only want the good experiences, all the other experiences are rejected by you. So are you alive 100%? Because we are busy resisting it. नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए, वो चाहिए, वो जो नहीं है वही चाहिए. जो है उसको अनुभव नहीं करना है. So what I have already, I am busy resisting it. So am I really alive? So this is our default mode that we are doing. And then we say we are not happy. क्या करें? But this is your programming, you see. What life has done over the years, programming us, indoctrinating us. You understand programming? हर अनुभव ने एक आपके अंदर क्या बोलते हैं scar, you know, it has left a mark on you. So we get into a kind of defensive mode where nothing comes in and nothing can go out also. We live in a defensive mode. What is skepticism? Why are we skeptical? Why are we doubting everything? Why don't we believe anything that somebody says? Why are we suspicious all the time? We are, na? सीधी सी बात है, if somebody tells me कि सर ये बहुत अच्छा है, do I believe him? He must be telling me अच्छा है because he's got some vested interest in that. Right? Somebody comes and says, hey, listen, sir, I've done this for 20 years. You try it. It's very good for you. And how are we listening to him? What does he want to get out of it? We are not even generous enough to believe the person who's taking some time to tell you something. इसका क्या मतलब है? ये मुझे क्यों बता रहा है? इसको क्या मिलेगा उसमें से? अरे मिलने दो यार, तुमको क्या? तुम वो देखो, तुमको क्या मिलने वाला है उसमें से? You look at what you will get out of it, na? No, you are more worried what is he going to get out of it. Why, if you get something out of it, what's your problem with it? Yeah? No, but we've been brought up, no? Programming of the word. I versus the world. मैं एक तरफ, दुनिया दूसरी तरफ. Do we have to live like that? Like the world is my enemy or something? No, sir, but life में ना संघर्ष करना पड़ता है. One has to struggle in life. One has to battle the forces against you. Whole world is, against you. But if God came and told you that, or what? But you understand, this is something happening. And we listen to lovely songs also from Hindi movies, Bach ke rehna re baba, bach ke rehna re. So that's also programmed. And then we'll have wonderful songs like, Kasme, Vaade, Pyar, Wafa, Sab. Baatein hain, baaton ka kya? Koi kisi ka nahi hai. Ye jhoote naate hain. Right? So we put some suspicion in all relationships also, right? Nobody is going to be there for you. God came and told you. So all this walls and barriers we are creating, and then we are saying, yes, sir, maza nahi aa raha hai life. Life is so full of struggle, to do, sir. It's very difficult to survive in this world. Who's made it like that? So we've gone into a default mode. Do you understand? So on the one side is your default mode, which does not allow us to live a full life. On the other side is a life of joy. It's a life of choice. It's a life where you can create your life the way you want. In our default mode, you will have more of the same. In our default mode, it will just be the past repeating into the future. Same thing happening over and over and over again. Because we don't want to come out of our default mode. And why is that? Because it's uncomfortable. Yes, Janaki ma'am, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to everyone. Sir, you made a statement that when we should be generous enough to believe others.
I didn't say, I never use the word should, by the way, Janaki.
Sorry.
Who am I to say what you should do or not?
It is good to, but when there is a situation comes that we are generous enough to believe others, what happens is when we start believing them, they are consistently insisting us to follow what kind of a life that they are following, starting from the eating habit to their thought process and everything. Here the resistance, because we started believing them, it is happening. So no,
Okay,
even
Janaki.
when we resist it, yes, sir.
See, I mean, I know what you're going to say, so pardon my interruption here. Listen,
Okay.
if you believe everyone, it's not necessary you have to do what they say. You
True.
can believe them and then make your choice, no? You can choose to
Yeah.
do what they say. You can choose not to do what they say. In any case, you've been blindly believing whatever programming has been put into you. You had nothing to do with belief.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not, you have to do like this. You dare not do. So they programmed you with their fear and everything.
Fear and yeah.
Right? So that's the programming part of it. I'm talking about generosity, that when somebody comes to you and he gives you something good. Have you noticed how suspicious we are?
Yeah.
You can at least listen fully, understand fully, and then make your choice. Nobody is saying you have blind faith. But are you at least willing to listen to it fully? So all I'm saying is that if in our default mode, we are skeptical, we are suspicious. Okay, so here is the paradox of it. We have been blindly made to become a certain kind of person by do this, this is right, this is right, this is right, this is right, right, without judgments. They use the tool of judgment to manipulate us. They use love to manipulate us. They will withhold love if you don't listen to them. Have you noticed how they manipulated us and made us into what we are? And there's nothing wrong with it. You become what you become, and you're still doing all right in life. Are you doing badly in life? Are you a failure in life? No. But just imagine when you set yourself free and you can make your own choices. And when you can be actually present in every moment rather than living in fear, suspicion, reaction, and resistance, what a wonderful life it will be. And we know that. That is why we want to escape into, okay, 1 hour meditation every morning. Okay. So you escaped into that world. And then you come back into the world and back into your default mode. So then you look for another dose next morning. It's like a drug addict wanting a fix. But it's the purpose of meditation and all this is not that. It is to make us a person who can be present to anything that's happening in life without the loss of power. And not give up our choice in that moment. So we are in a sea and there is a storm in the sea. You understand? It's a sea which is stormy sea. Life is like that. Tufan hai. But in that tufan, in that storm, to keep your bearings, if you keep your bearings, if you maintain your equilibrium, you may even use the storm to drive you to where you want to go. Because the wind is wind, right? Those who keep their cool will harness the wind. Those who don't keep their cool will be torn to shreds. So symbolically, I'm just saying, you look at the way we are buffeted by that, right? That's the reason I repeat so many times that every experience is an opportunity to be a better version of ourselves. And it's a beautiful question that you asked, Janaki. But that's exactly today who I am or who I have been. For 27 years of my life, I was that. Don't sit like this, don't stand like this, don't laugh like this, sit like a gentleman, smile like a gentleman. You talk too much. If you don't talk too much, they'll say he's not talking, he's become a very quiet child. With all these judgments that we've been bombarded with, we became a certain kind of a person. And then came up the wall, the shields that we put up around us. See, what is visible to people is not you. Think about it. Is the real you visible to the world? Do you allow the real you to be seen? आपका असली रूप कभी किसी को दिखाई देते हैं? आप में हिम्मत है वो रूप दिखाने की? Why do you need courage to show your true self? Your true self is actually a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary being, but we are afraid to show our true self. Why? Maybe we don't like ourselves so much. Maybe we think that if they find out who I really am, nobody will like me. Or is it only for defensive purposes?
It will be
When I
like
say-
another kind of judgments. Like if we show off our own true self, people come up with their own judgments and opinions, which are actually we are afraid of. Every individual is afraid of.
Yeah. Why are we afraid of that? So one of the first things that I always say to people, and I'll say that to you too, Janaki, Yovina, is if you stop judging yourself, what will happen? The problem is we are judging ourselves all the time now. And when we hear something from outside which matches what we think about ourselves, we don't like it very much. Right? And then another judgment comes up and I say, oh my God, now I'll have to meet this expectation also. Will I ever be perfect? So if we go by the judgments of people, then we had it. Because you will never be able to come up to everybody's expectations, that's for sure. Whatever you may do, the greatest good you may do, they'll still find something wrong with it.
Exactly.
So why are we so stuck on judgment? Am I looking for validation from outside? to accept myself? Am I willing to
No.
see myself as this whole and complete, wonderful, magnificent person that I am?
Yes.
And because I don't want to see that, obviously I don't want other people to see it also. And because I don't want them to see it, then I got this big cover up going on. Isn't it? See, why are children so free? You remember that day in the Good to Great session, I was showing you the structure of the brain, the three brains.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the third brain, that is the rational brain or the playful brain or the future thinking brain, seems to be used mainly by the children who have not yet been programmed. That's why they're so full of curiosity. That is why they learn things so fast. You buy a new mobile, you'll be struggling with it. You give it to this 3-year-old kid, within half an hour, he'll come and teach you how to use it. Why is that? Are you seeing that? So we got stuck somewhere. By the time you were 3 years, till that age of 3 years, oh, lovely child, oh, dekho mera pyara beta, oh, how sweet, oh, nice. After that, hey, don't do this. Good children don't behave like this. Don't play with those children. They are dirty. Don't, children share naturally with everybody. They're giving. There's no sense of which mind. But they're watching the adults, no? Father said, don't touch my pen. This is my glass. In the kitchen, there's special glass for the maid. She's not allowed to drink from other glass. She can come and clean your utensils. She can come and cook your food that you will eat. But she cannot drink from the glass from which you drink. You wash and drink, no? So all this is getting programmed, right? Am I okay? Am I not okay? Oh, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. So now I should pretend to be okay. See the paradox over there. And what do you think it's doing to our self-esteem? So good. Thank you, ma'am. Keep asking questions like this. It allows me to clarify so many things.
Thank you so
And then
much, sir.
all of you are waiting, when is he going to shut up so that we can talk? Anybody wants to say something?
गालिब साहब का एक लाइन याद आ गया सर.
बताइए.
गालिब साहब ने से किसी ने पूछा, somebody asked Mr. Ghalib that कैसे हो, how are you? So गालिब ने हंस के जवाब दिया कि जिंदगी में गम है, गम में दर्द है, दर्द में मजा है और मजे में हम हैं.
Wow.
So that's what I'm also learning now.
So with all this lamba bhashan that you just listened to, what is opening up for you? What are you beginning to think? What are you beginning to realize? Go ahead, Raghu Raman.
Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Good morning,
everyone.
sir.
So yesterday, I would like to share. Yesterday, we have been talking about the gratitude and life. It comes to you, but only thing is, we need to be very, very observed about what comes to you, what comes to us. One incident I would like to share. 5 years before, when I was going to drop my son for the chess tournament, I dropped him, and then on the way back to Common Park, I met with an accident. And it was around 12:15 in the mid sun. And being a Friday here, generally not many people will be in the road because of the prayer. I got scared because that's the first time I got an accident. But suddenly one person who's also wanted to go for prayer, he just saw the accident and he knows that the other people will bombard me with the police when they come. So he stood over there in the hot sun. He called the police, and then until the police came, he waited, and then instead of me, he talked everything to him, and then he brought me out of the rescue mode. So it is, and there was no relation at all with him. I was so scared with that accident. What will happen, and how do I? And it is the rent a car, so I was very much worried. We don't know. Like once you observe it, somewhere some help, whatever you do, it comes in a different form. It doesn't come in the same form. Only thing is we have to be very, very vigilant to observe. If you don't, then we will start blaming. No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. That's one
Yeah, so
experience
that was an
yesterday.
act of generosity.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so let's get on, because there is something which I wanted to say to you today, and that's what I'm going to do. One moment, please. So, what I was talking about for so long was that we built these walls around us. Okay? They are very guarded. We are very protective of ourselves. And what are the symptoms of that? How do you recognize that you're putting a guard around yourself? I've given you some examples already of skepticism,
Resisting
resisting, and
reactions.
yeah, that's a instant guard. What else?
Fearing,
What is that?
fear.
Fear. No, fear, it is to prevent the fear, or to prevent from getting into fearful situations. But we can accept that also. Okay, what else?
Judgment. Again, the judgment.
Pretense is a guard.
Oh.
Hiding the truth about yourself. What else? Sometimes, when the conversation becomes tough, we just back off. What is that? You will have a lot of incompletions in your head, and afterwards you will be thinking, I should have told him this and I should have told him that. Why didn't you tell him?
What they will think of that after saying everything about them.
Okay, great. Nazim Saab, say something.
Strongly, I feel that from my experience, which I've gone through, so it's the hesitation, that's the accountability people fear of.
So can you explain it a little bit? What do you mean by that?
Oh, whenever you are in some kind of apprehensions.
May I make a request to you, sir?
Pardon, sir?
Can I request you to do something?
Yes.
My request is if you unmute your video, we will get a chance to be acquainted. I can see a black wall over there.
No, it's nothing of that sort. But generally, I come up to catch up with your sessions after my morning exercise and all. So I'm all drenched up in my sweat. So I don't want to show that sweaty face to you, but okay, fine.
Wow. If this is what you look like when you're drenched and all, wow.
No, it has quite absorbed it right now.
So go on. You were saying something.
So this is the apprehensions that are taking place in the mind that in case if I owe up to something, it's very difficult to break up that line between the accountability that you're going to take for it. So sometimes you resist because of that also.
Well, and you can be, if you're accountable, you are accountable. You can't hide that, no?
Yeah, that's happens with many people. Yes.
So being open or not open, what difference will it make? The difference it will make is if you're open, you will not be stressed. If you're open, you will not be afraid of being found
out. Absolutely. We are open, but this is one of the criteria that I'm referring it to, that people doesn't feel like being accountable. That's one of the reasons I feel.
And that is the default mode.
Yes, that's the default.
I think the word you are wanting to use is responsible. They don't want to be responsible.
Yeah, you don't want to be accountable or responsible. Correct.
And you know what is on the other side of that? If you're not being responsible, then you're being a victim.
Obviously.
And this is true. People prefer to live like a bloody victim in their life rather than be responsible and powerful. And
you really have to show up. You really have to show up what you are up to, irrespective of what other can
Yeah, this is what I am. I mean, इसमें क्या
This is-
छुपाना है?
बिल्कुल exactly.
अगर मुझे अपनी परफेक्शन का एहसास हो, जो कि नहीं होता है अनफॉर्चुनेटली, बिकॉज वी बीन जजिंग आवरसेल्फ हार्शली मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ना, क्योंकि अपने तराजू में हम कभी खरे उतरते नहीं है ना.
Not possible. Because you always have
See, just
your
see, we are the
expectations and
worst.
parameters high on the scale, and then you always
Exactly.
blame yourself.
Exactly. We are the worst critics of ourselves. And because of that, we put up this front in front, And then we are afraid that we'll be found out. Interesting life, isn't it? But that's the default mode for you. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, anybody else?
Sir, Suresh here.
Yes.
Being open, I'm talking about my profession or my this thing. So people say, yeah, you people make us scared when we explain the things about insurance, health insurance, or the complications if they don't take kind of thing. They say, okay, डराते हो लोगों को, कहानी सुना के डरा के ले लेते हो. दूसरी बात है, there is some disturbance.
Yeah, seems to be from.
This is from Hasina ji. She has to mute.
So sometimes when they are ready to purchase the policy also, they say, okay, what is that you are getting? So now, earlier I used to, say something else, but nowadays I am saying, okay, this is what I am getting, but you are not giving. You are giving to the company gives me whatever it has to. So they say, okay, can you give back some commission, whatever you get? Then I said,
There also,
yeah.
people are not generous enough. Okay, here is this man who earns his living by helping me to choose the right policy. There also they want to cut out of your earnings.
Yeah. Then I started learning after a few cases. Okay, I can give you that, but when the claim comes, you have to handle on your own.
Okay, I got it. All right. So coming back to the question, first of all, I'm suggesting, be open and drop your guard. So when I say drop your guard, what do you get out of it? What do you think you'll have to drop? Drop your guard means drop your shield, drop your protection. In what way are you protecting yourself? I mean, you can protect your life, all right. I'm not talking about that. Nazim saab, bataiye. Have you finished or your hand is still raised? Okay, so coming back to my question.
That was over. And
Okay.
I was about to listen to what you people are discussing at the moment.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
I was giving a thought onto what you were talking on.
So when I say drop your guard, what does that mean? What will I have to drop? In what way am I behaving or thinking that is blocking, that's closing me up to possibilities? So if you can, few people say what comes to your mind about that. Kunayan, Rama, Vetrivel, Shamona, Mohan, Tyakudin.
Yeah,
When I
what's
say
coming
be
to
open,
my
drop your
mind, sir?
guard. Yes.
Normally what I used to do, protecting myself or resisting, I had my own ego, and I had my own fixed opinion about certain things, and I used to not move from that forward. Like I was not willing to accept the opinions of others. And then I had an issue, like I was not getting the solutions from the conversation or from the situation. So
Yeah, just one second. So his guard was what? His opinions. So he would protect his opinions because that is his guard. That's how he is preventing or sustaining his ego, as he calls it. Yeah, please carry on.
And when I realized that it is not giving me the result, and when I realized that the thing what is stopping me is just my opinion, and let's understand the opinions of others. So when I change my perspective, but right now also time to time I have to struggle, but that's what have experience I had. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, so when you dropped your guard, which was being stuck to your opinions, it became possible for you to get inputs from others, no?
That's
That's
true.
what became possible. Thank you so much for sharing it. Okay. So where are you putting up a guard? And what will happen if you drop it? Okay, we've got some people raise the hands. I can't see who they are.
Giri wanted, after that Subhash, Naseem and Gautam.
Okay, so let us start with Girish. So Girish is the man who is an expert in RO systems. So if you're looking for an RO system, you should talk to him. So go ahead, Girish.
Thank you, sir. And actually, I want to answer for Suresh's question that the people are asking
No. Wait a minute. You don't do that, please. I want you to answer my question. In what is the way like you're guarding yourself by your actions or by your thoughts or by your attitude? And if you become open, what will become possible?
Actually, for this question, yesterday we were in on. Actually, we are in on. What I have to say. Okay, I will answer you, sir, after a while. Sorry.
Yeah, so think
Actually,
about
I
it.
prepared
Giri.
for
I
Suresh's
think you
question,
got stuck
rejection.
with Suresh's whatever
Yeah.
he was saying. It was not a question. He was making a statement.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Subhash.
who's next?
Subhash.
Subhashji. How are you, Subhashji? Good to see you.
Thank you. Actually, sometimes because of prejudging the situation or prejudging the person, we try to guard कि वो ऐसा ना कर डाले कहीं, इसीलिए हम ऐसा करेंगे पहले से. Although
Exactly.
it may be true, but sometimes we honestly started guarding ourselves against the likely opposition or likely support or opposition. So that's my, guard or fear, you can say. Thank you.
That is very good. But hold on a second. Hold on. But in what way are you guarding yourself?
Suppose
I know why
we
you
are in
guard
a-
yourself, but in which way you are guarding yourself?
his opposition to my
Okay, like
views.
what would you do?
Suppose I am suggesting something and somebody is opposing me
Okay.
or likely to oppose, not opposing, likely to oppose, fear of opposing.
Okay.
Then I start guarding myself. मैं ऐसा कहूंगा तो ठीक रहेगा बजाय वैसा करने के.
हाँ, फिर आप
And in that
strategy
process,
बनाना शुरू कर
maybe
देते हो.
I go away from the reality, maybe.
Yes, because you start making a strategy. And
Yes.
in that conversation, when things don't go according to the strategy, then
Yes.
we will get stuck, na? अरे जैसा
Yeah,
मैं
but
सोच
it
रहा
may
था
be-
ऐसा
it
हुआ ही
may-
नहीं.
My strategy may be wrong also, perhaps.
That's what I'm saying. Because of your defensiveness, you made a strategy which might
Yeah.
make it more difficult for you.
Yes, you are right.
See, I remember one boy was in one of my training programs, and young fellow, he was a fresher in that company, So we were talking about, no, sir, ye hai, wo hai. There are some people who will always say no to you. So how do you handle them? So I said, who says no to you? He said, my father always says no. Whatever I'll ask him, he'll say no to me. So I said, what do you do? Sir, I've stopped asking. मुझे पता है वो ना ही बोलेंगे. मैं कहा तेरे को चाहिए, what do you want now? तेरे को चाहिए क्या है? सर मुझे तो मोटरसाइकिल चाहिए. बट वो ना ही बोलेंगे. मैंने कहा, are you willing to drop that? Are you willing to drop your opinion? See, what is happening? His defense is, I will not ask only. If I ask him, he'll say no, so I'll not ask. So if he doesn't ask, it's a no anyway. वो नहीं इसको समझ में आ रहा है. I go and ask. There is a chance he may say yes also. No? How do you know he'll say yes or he will say no? Take a chance. Go with the belief that this time maybe daddy will say yes. So Sardarji ghar gaye and he says, Pops, I want to ask you something. Okay? अब क्योंकि उसको इतनी आदत पड़ी हुई है बोलने की, so he said, but Papa, this time please don't say no. बोल दिया उसने, अरे बाबा बोल तो सही, you tell me ना, what do you want? Dad, will you please buy me a motorcycle? Bas, I was about to buy you a car. Now you tell me you want a car or a motorcycle. And that boy was so flabbergasted, you know. He was there expecting to hear a no about a motorcycle, and his father wants to buy him a car. And he came back and told me next day. I said, it only happened because you asked. And your shield was what? I will not ask because I don't want to give him the satisfaction of saying no to me. That was his point of view. मैं पूछूंगा नहीं, so that I don't give him the satisfaction of saying no to me. उसको बहुत मजा आता है ना बोलने में. So I will not let him do that. So when he asked, something became possible. So the question to all of you is that if you be open and if you drop your guard, what will become possible in life? Thank you, Shushma.
Wonderful conversation, Deepak ji. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next, Naseem, Gautam, and Reddy Garu.
Okay, so let's go with Gautam and then Reddy Garu and then Naseem Bhai. Because he's spoken once, so if you don't mind, Naseem Bhai.
No, please carry on.
Okay, go ahead, Gautam.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It is
Good
a very,
morning.
good. It is very useful discussion. And in our professional life, what we do, we learn that is to asking the open-ended question. And then we are more listener today than to give our own opinion. That when I asking the question to my customer or friend or anybody, so when he is giving the opinion, exactly, Deepak, we found what I was looking for, it is coming from his mouth.
Exactly.
He's coming from his mouth. And this is, I am telling him simple, yes, you are absolutely correct. I am with you. And he is happy, I am happy, my job is over. That's a very important thing. Thank you.
And the question was, if you drop your guard, what will become possible? Beautiful. All right, who's the next person? Reddy Garu. Please go ahead, Reddy Garu.
What I feel is we will see more possibilities and opportunities in life if we drop our guard.
Exactly. So if you look at, see, this is a wonderful theory, as long as it is a theory. I'm saying look into your practical life and see in the various areas where we may be stuck because we are putting up our guard, what will happen if you drop it? So you have to be clear what guard you're putting up. Disbelief is a guard. My opinions about others is a guard. And so on and so forth. What will become possible? Definitely you are clear that if you drop your guard, many things will become possible. Yeah, so look at it and see how you can apply it in specific situations in life. Yes, sir, Naseem bhai.
You have already made two of my points very clear, that the disbelief, that's very much obvious.
Question got answered anyhow.
No, the other thing is that what's important, which I particularly feel and experience is that it is this strength sometimes that you really think you're getting weak over the other person. So that always keeps you on the back foot. So you're not able to overcome that. So it's the strength that is a kind of a more conviction to it.
Yeah, can you explain this a little?
You fear that sometimes you're not sound enough, your knowledge is not enough to overcome the other person's counter theories or whatever, the counter logics or the counter answers. So you automatically try to resist that, and then you get into a dormant mode, I can say.
So let me explain something to you here. This is a part of our defense mechanism. Okay? Our defense mechanism is if he wins, I will lose. I cannot lose. Okay, so now imagine that somebody knows something more about a subject than you do. Okay, what's the harm in listening to him? You may learn something new. But then a lot of people will not listen or even agree, because it is like admitting to somebody else, "Okay, listen, man, you know more than me." And that's not okay. Our defense mechanism is, I can never let anybody know that he knows more than me. Suppose you drop
Defensive
that, what
approach.
will happen? Today, see, I'll tell you something about myself. I come from a Sardarji father and Malayali mother. So at home, nobody spoke Hindi. So I was more comfortable in the English language, even though I studied school in Hindi in school and all that. So when I did training, all training was being done in English only. And that's what I was used to, because I think in English. So first time I went to one college and I had to address all the professors over there. So the head of the Hindi department, she nice lady, she came up to me and she says कि सुखदीपक जी बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा कि आप हमें अपने हमारी मातृभाषा में बात करें. Okay. The moment she said that, my defensiveness would have obviously come up, no? So I told her, I said, ma'am, देखो मेरी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, and I'm not very proud of it, but I'll do it. So I did it. Now, I was not pretending to be great in Hindi. Whenever I did not know a word, I would ask them, okay, sorry, I don't know. Can you tell me? So I was asking a question called, what's your personal opinion about this? So I don't know the Hindi word for personal. So I said, so how do you say that? Those ladies said, Vyaktigat. So I learned a new word. So when I dropped my guard and I was willing to acknowledge, like I'm not a Sarva Sampann or I know everything, it opened up the possibility for me to learn, words which I didn't know. It allowed me to do more and more sessions where I would be comfortable speaking Hindi. Now I am completely comfortable whether I have to speak in Hindi or in English. And now I'm thinking maybe I should know more Tamil and Malayalam and all other languages as well. I'm not afraid. But our pretense is what? Our shield, our defensive mechanism is what? I cannot show them I know less than you. And this in corporate is a big thing. There's one guy who would not hire anybody who was more qualified than him. I said, why can't you hire him? He said, sir, how will I control him? I said, why do you need to control him? You need to use his knowledge, right? But he'll find out I don't know. So what if he finds out you don't know? Nobody is expected to know everything. But our defense is, no, they should not find out I don't know. They should think I know everything. That's another defense mechanism. All right, so somebody was wanting to ask something. Sorry, who was that?
Yes, sir. So my thing is sharing my feelings with others is a God. No, I don't share it freely.
So what is the defense over there?
I think the difference, I don't know, but the thinking is that maybe they are not, I think there is an ego issue.
Yeah, but what do you mean by that? We hide behind words by saying ego issue. Ego. What is the problem exactly?
It may be a trust issue, whether they will misuse, how will they look at it, right? So that is the kind
they
of...
may not think I'm such a great guy anymore.
Right.
If I say the truth about myself.
Yes, correct. So, but
like all the men, I'll tell you something interesting about the men. All the men are pretending that there is something they never did from the age of 11 years. But all of them, they do it. But they all pretend, nobody should find out. Everybody knows also, but nobody should find out also. Maybe you're doing it from the age of 9 also, I don't know. But see, so your shield is, don't talk too much. Don't talk about personal stuff. People should not find out things about me. So maybe that's some facade, this picture I want to create in people's mind that I'm the perfect guy.
Yeah.
So that might be sort of, people might think, oh, he's not a perfect guy, Maybe you have an opinion that only perfect guys are respected. Don't worry, I had it for many years, So my guru, my trainer at that time, the country head of the organization where I was. So I was conducting a training. Okay, it was on relationships. So I told the participants that, whoever you got a problem with, you ask them to tell you what they do not like about you. Okay? So they were given that homework. So when I give homework to my participants, I also do it. So I went home and I told my late wife, I said, here is a notebook. Please write down all the things about me which you don't like. So she started writing and writing and writing, and she wouldn't stop, only 24 pages. Okay, how many lines are there on that school notebook? About 20 lines, right? And so many pages. I looked at that thing and I felt so ashamed. I said I should sink under the ground, you know. As a Sita was swallowed by the earth, something like that should happen. I was feeling so ashamed. Here I am, a trainer, conducting trainings in so many countries, this and that. And this is who we are. This is how your wife sees you. So unfortunately, at that very moment, my boss's country head's phone comes. I said, hello. So Ferdy says, what happened to you, Sukhdeepak? I said, Ferdy, do you think I should be your seminar leader here? He said, why not? You're doing a good job. I said, let me read out what's written over here. This is what my wife has written. I read it out and he started laughing, you know. So who told you, Sukhdeepak, that you have to be Mr. Perfect? You got good feedback. Congratulations. Somebody's got the courage to tell you the truth about you. Why are you so upset about that? You're a human being. Are you willing to kiss your ugly child? I said, what do you mean by that? You know, mother, he said, will kiss her child even if the child is ugly. Okay, so you got some flaws, but does it take away from the fact that you are doing a good job in this world and you're so dedicated and you're so good at what you do, your results are extraordinary, and these are the things you need to work on. So what? And you know what I did the next day in my seminar? I read out all those pages over there. I said, this is what my wife says. Believe me, it's quite scary, you know. What is the fear? These buggers won't listen to me. I have to conduct, you know, for 3 months, one session every week. What will happen? Nothing happened. They fell in love with me because they realized, oh, he's also a human being like us, you know. He's not some kind of a God giving pravachan over there. Believe me, so much becomes possible when you're willing to receive. Vulnerability, like Sushma is saying. One of the cornerstones of a great relationship is vulnerability, openness to give and openness to receive. So beautiful. Thank you very much for your sharing, Rama. But I just wanted to share this with you so that you can realize. And you know, the worst part of it, when we are not willing to speak about the stuff which we would love to be a secret, we live in fear that people may find out who I really am. There's nothing wrong with who you really are. So what is there to hide? So when we become open, what becomes possible? A life free of fear. Today, you know, a lot of times people will tell me, na, so Deepak, do this, otherwise we'll go and tell people about it. I say, please do. Why you will tell people about it? I will go and tell people about it. Because I don't have any fear of that. Yeah, why don't you unmute yourself and say it, Sushma? That will be having a bigger impact, no? We get to hear the sound of your voice.
Thank you. Yeah, I have realized that being vulnerable opens up new doors. So when you tell your story, when you say what you go through, what you are feeling and what has happened, that makes them more near to you.
Yeah. And for that, you have to drop your guard first, no? Then only you can say.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Dr. Shuja with us. So I'd like to hear her. Yesterday, we were trying to get her to speak. After the meeting also, she did not speak. So today, we will get her to speak. Go ahead. Only half your face is visible, though. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
So, what was your question?
Yeah, the question was, drop your guard. And what will happen when you do? What will become possible when you do?
Yeah, everybody was telling, right? Lot of opportunities, possibilities will happen when you leave your guard. So I also agree with that.
So yeah, take one practical situation in your life today, like you are teaching. By the way, we've got another critical care person with us, Dr. Anandita. So you do critical care for little babies, right? And you
Yes,
teach
yeah.
people how to do that also.
Yeah.
So as a professor or a teacher, what will happen if you drop your guard? What will become possible?
Oh, people won't obey. What I thought is like, all my residents, like, whenever when I'm close to them, they won't obey. Like, so if there is a bad gas, they will not repeat it. Like, that's what so I have to be like, hard and
We lost your voice over there.
I feel like, I have to be hard and, bad to them, then only they will repeat. If I'm nice, they won't repeat, they won't do their job very well.
So your guard is what? Being harsh and tough.
Yeah, that's what I thought now. I have been so soft so far.
Yeah.
So my friend told me like, don't do that, like,
So
be harsh on.
If
the
you drop
students.
that guard, what will happen?
I've been dropping the guard for a long time, and I thought I won't change my personality, but
Again,
it
your
looks
voice
like,
got
I
lost in
have to
between.
change.
Yeah, try it out. Because see, I'll tell you one thing, Suja, when we are actually coming from, see, why would we want them to do something? Because we care for their success, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
Of
telling
the
them to do
success
something
of
for
them and
yourself?
also the patients,
Yeah. So you're not asking them to do these things for yourself, not for your own sake, not for your benefit.
True.
So you're very clear that whatever you're asking them to do is for their benefit, for their success, for the well-being of the patient, right? So whether you are harsh or not, in fact, if you are not harsh, if you drop your guard, they will open up more and tell you, okay, ma'am, this is the problem. I can't help it. Help me out. In any case, if
Yeah,
you
then
are
they will
harsh
do
with
it.
them,
Yeah.
their brain doesn't work.
But the thing is, I have to keep on telling them. But once I am harsh, they know they will do it.
Well,
When
so that
once
means
I'm
somebody.
soft, like I'm also losing a lot of energy. Like even at
So
home,
then-
even at work, and
So there are people, I'll tell you, and I've done it also. So then I'll call him and ask him, okay, listen, are you going to only do things if I'm harsh to you? Do you like people to be rude to you? So why do you think I'm saying this to you? I want, not for my sake, right? Do you want to
Yes,
do the
yeah.
work incorrectly? See, understand one thing, Suja. If you operate from a belief that they don't want to do things in a correct way, then you will feel the need to be harsh with them. If you come from a point of view that they also, like you, would like to do things in the correct way, but maybe they are helpless, maybe they don't know how, or maybe they get scared, or they have not mastered it as yet, then you will treat them quite differently, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah. But now, like July, they just started, so it's
So what happens is, we don't set the context with them when they start a relationship with us. We don't tell them what are we committed to. Okay, if you are a student and I'm a teacher, if I set right in the beginning, what is my commitment to you? Clearly. What is my promise to you? What is my expectation from you? And I ask you as a student, okay, what is your expectation from me? Then we will always have conversations which will move forward rather than the need to use this manipulation of fear and intimidation. It's not required.
it's not required. But if you're not that harsh, I miss so many 2-3 stuff, because of that.
Well, so what will it
I
take
have
for
to
you to
work
give up
harder.
that? That's what you think.
Yeah.
So that is the defense mechanism that you have. If I'm not harsh, I'll have to work harder. I will have to explain to them. I will have to listen to them. I will have to set a context, blah, blah, blah. But you said it once. And being harsh seems to go on and on. No? It's not like you are harsh once and forever they are listening to you. The moment your back is turned, God knows what they're doing. See, it's interesting. That's why I'm asking this question. What happens if you drop your guard? What will become possible? I mean, this is a question I ask many people, especially the working ladies. They'll say men don't take us seriously. They don't want to listen to orders from a woman. So we have to be harsh. Then only
That's also true. Yeah, even in working, like, you know.
Well, if you believe it, you will keep on proving it right for the rest of your life. I'm going to put a
I
video.
thought, like, you know, US is a little bit different than India, like, you know, but it looks like the same thing, you know.
Everywhere, ma'am. It's the same. People are people. The same red blood courses in their brains. You see, their sweet smelling sweat doesn't come out. You see, they don't have perfumed sweat.
Yesterday I was working, so I think I went to, you know, I was a little busy, so that's why probably I wasn't there.
It doesn't matter. But I do want to speak to you. So
Okay.
you set up a time for a call and I will talk to you.
Yeah, sure.
It's important. All right. Good. Thank you for your question. All right.
Raghu had something.
Yes, Raghu.
Yes, sir. Good morning once again. Be open and drop your guard. Underestimate people by looking at the face value. Actually, it is most of the time it happened in the opposite way. You think they are by face value, by looking at them, they are good. But when you start talking to them, being with them, then you realize, okay, there's something wrong. But at the same time, when some people look very bad, but in their heart, they are very, very pure. So, like judging,
So why do they
basically
project something which they are not?
Yeah.
That is the guard they're putting.
Yes.
So can you imagine, Raghu, that you go to select a girl for marrying and both are telling lies to each other about the qualities that they have. What will happen after the 4 days of marriage?
It will come out.
So this is the fellow I married. He was showing so many good things. Same thing people do in jobs also. I tell them, don't go and tell a lie about the job. I tell recruiters also. Recruiters will give such fine stories, you know, because they want to hook the guy into the company. Oh, we'll fulfill all your expectations, this and that. When he joins, he find out something different. See, this is the end result of not being open, that you're digging your own grave or making life more difficult. So simple, no? This is what I am, boss. You can hire me for my qualities. I mean, you don't have to go and in an interview first tell her, these are all my bad habits. But they'll find out soon enough. You know, so you can go with the nice, you know, hairstyle and good makeup and, you know, facial and this thing. When they see the real face, they'll have a big problem with it. So better to show them the real face, no? See, can you imagine that how much we are making our life difficult by putting up all these, you know, shields all around us, shields of pretense. Not only that, we've got so many in our mind also, no? Like just now, Dr. Shuja was saying, if I am not harsh with people, they will not do what I say. That's a defensive mechanism. So it becomes a pattern that you're always being harsh. So many other things. We could go on and on. It's a very interesting topic. But the time has come. We've exceeded our time by 20 minutes. Wow, fantastic. Thank you very much. So God bless you. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow once again for a wonderful session of empowering morning conversations. Thank you, Raghu, and everybody else for your contribution.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a